Good evening. Welcome to the August 7th Clifton Park Town Board meeting. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Pat, if you call the roll.
Councilman Whalen. Here. Councilman Stengel. Here. Councilman Romano.
Here.
Councilman Wallet. Supervisor.
Here. Entertain a motion to approve town board meeting minutes of July 17th.
So moved.
Second.
By Mr. Romano, second by Ms. Walden.
Councilman Whalen.
Yes.
Councilman Stengel. Yes. Councilman Romano.
Yes.
Councilman Wallet. Yes. Supervisor.
Yes. Okay, just one announcement this evening, just a quick reminder of the blood drive coming up on Wednesday from noon to 6 right here at Town Hall. To schedule an appointment, you can call Pat O'Donnell at the Town Clerk's Office, 371-6681. So if you can give blood Wednesday from noon to 6, the Red Cross needs it. They'd love to see you, and it is voluntary. Any other communications or announcements? Okay. Very good. First up tonight is a recognition of National Clown Week, and we're fortunate to have, oh, there he is. He's out of uniform, apparently.
Well, he didn't have the dance class.
Oh, all right.
He just played picnic.
He's a dancing
He
clown.
was picnic. Yeah, if anybody saw it at Proctor's, he was picnic.
Oh, awesome. No, but I had brave refused. It was a kid show.
Oh.
Not kids, young.
Yes, young.
Young adult, young adult.
Yes, and it was got rain.
Very good. All right, well, again, recognition of National Clown Week. We do this every year, and we're fortunate to have some of our area clowns here with us tonight, led by Sparky. So how you doing, Sparky?
I'm doing real well, and you?
Great. Why don't you come up and introduce all your fellow clowns this evening?
Some of the names. Okay.
Aliases?
Aliases, yes.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
I was going to say, what did they do that they needed to do?
We're not
Well, when
selling.
you become a clown, I'll help you do it. Okay, okay. This is Auntie Swizzle, and she is a first of May, meaning that this is her first year of clowning. She just finished in clown school, and she is, you know how we come in with the boot before the
Yeah.
Charlie Award? Well, she is.
Watch it.
She's also going to try and apply for one as an individual Charlie. She has been out everywhere, every day.
Wow.
So, you know, she's got a whole lot of energy. We need this. Now,
Bobo's helping.
oh, she's
Foster
also,
with his
oh,
dog.
okay. This is Mischief. She's older than dirt.
Oh.
I am older than dirt, but I look like a flower.
Oh, very nice.
And she is the one that has taught so many people clowning. So it was her clown class that produced me. This is Zippy.
Hi, Zippy.
Zippy, we're very glad to have her back with us because she just earned her doctorate degree.
Oh, wow.
So I guess you have to call her doctorate.
In clowning or something that...
In education.
Education.
So,
Now she's smart enough to be a clown.
Is this part of your dissertation?
Yes, as a matter of
Is
fact,
it?
humor was part of my dissertation.
All right, good, good.
okay, Bobo came back, and she's also first of May.
All right. Yeah, she's first year of clowning, is what that means.
Absolutely. And she's been out and around all over the place too. We're really
Right.
happy to have her with us.
Good.
And this is, these last two people are steady supporters.
Old standbys.
They are always there for me.
They're young standbys.
Jazzy and Nifty Galifty. Nifty Galifty right now is the Electric City Alley president.
Oh,
So,
wow.
you know, I'm in good company.
El Presidente.
Yeah, I am in good company. You know what draws them?
What?
I always promise them a treat after.
Oh, you do?
I can't hear you.
No, you can't. That's our secret.
It's a secret.
So you all show up dressed like that in one of our finest restaurants?
Well, we've done things like that. We've been showing up all over the presentations of this all week.
Does anybody stare at you?
All the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you know, then I just make an appeal. Last year, the whole issue of the scary clowns was very bad. It was very bad for some of us. And I know some people who lost their business because their contracts were canceled and they hired pirates instead. It's going to be here again this year, and I hope that anything that you can do to help dispel that. We are not scary clowns. You know what? This is real. It's not a mask. I am a real person. And yet my family was so concerned when I went up to the hospital, because I go to the hospital twice a week, that I promised that I would drive without my nose and put sunglasses on. And I didn't feel safe until I got to the parking lot.
Oh, wow.
So with the movie It coming out early, and I'm seeing what Spirit Halloween is promoting, please help support us as clowns and tell them we're really good people. We're really people, and we don't do those things.
So people are just used to scary pirates, but they're not used to scary clowns. Is that the deal?
Yes, that would be it. Now,
Have any of you gone into the pirate industry, or?
No, but I'm ready.
All right.
Arr.
Well, you've been practicing, so that's
Yeah,
good.
we have been practicing.
Yeah, you know, what I've done with people, with kids and people when it comes to the scary clown,
Well, there he is. Hi, Pippin.
sneak over here. Anyway, so what I've done with kids is I said to them, you know, like, are you afraid of me? And some kids said, well, I'm afraid of those scary clowns. And I said, well, you know something? Those are not real clowns. I said, those are just people who put on terrible masks. And I said, they go out and they really want to scare people. I said, we are not scary. I said, clowns really love people or they wouldn't do this. And I said, so, you know, I sort of explained it to groups of people, and that's what I hope that we can get out, that message that clowns really are good and fun.
Glenn Griffith helped last year with an article that he wrote.
Oh, good.
That helped try to tell the real story, but not everybody gets to read it. Buster is here now.
Oh, hi. How you doing, Pippin?
Come on up.
Come on up.
He's not at first of
See you
May.
Miss May,
He's not at first of May,
May Day.
but he's not as old as Bert either.
Oh, he's a youngster.
Yeah. How long have you clowned?
2010.
Wow.
Valley together.
Started young.
Yeah.
This is my grandson, by the way.
Oh, it is. Oh, so it runs in the family.
Oh,
My grandmother. No, my grandmother.
Clowning runs in your family. You're passing it down to the next generation.
I'm
Wow.
passing it down
Like
to
it or
them.
not.
There you go.
So, anyway, we appreciate the opportunity to be here and help you celebrate, yeah.
When you're ready. I'm up. Hi, guys. Hi. Well, you know, I have heard that you have done so much to keep everything together in this community
What?
through the years.
Right.
And so just to make sure it keeps going, I brought you some duct tape.
Oh, wow. That's
Your own
fantastic.
personal
I could always use some duct
to
tape.
keep things held together.
I fix a lot of things with duct tape.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure. So that's your own personal duct tape.
Well, that's fantastic. Thank you so much.
Okay.
And now when you're ready, I'm done.
It's done already.
Well, and on the serious side of things, other than this nasty clown business, that is, I didn't you don't realize that things like that are become nationally known, where all these scary clowns are out there, actually negatively affects what you do on a regular basis. If you're not involved in clowning, you wouldn't realize that, right? Yeah.
That's why we're looking for support, for nice people to say nice things.
Well, we certainly support you.
Well, this past Wednesday, we had a balloon jam in Central Park in Schenectady,
Yeah.
and the Gazette gave us a 2-page article
Wow.
with pictures
Oh, I saw that.
brought
Yeah.
up about scary clowns, versus real clowns that make kids happy. It was a great article.
Now, on the serious side, you do a lot of volunteer work. You're out and about visiting hospitals, visiting people that could use a smile, right? Going through difficult times. And we thank you for doing that as a volunteer in our community. And you also do a great job at town events painting faces. I mean, just last week, our National Night Out, we had over 100 kids, ages 6 to 12, that took part in the evening's festivities, and I saw many of the kids with painted faces. You were painting faces right, I mean, half the people were gone because the event had ended, and you were still painting faces,
She was still
and
doing
kids loved it.
She did all the balloons.
And, oh, that's right, we had balloons too.
We
Yeah.
had clowns in
Thank you,
Redmond
Doctor.
and Albany and National Night Out. We had clowns in each town that we could get them in.
Yeah.
I was over there doing balloons and these guys were in Albany doing balloons and clowning around and we had other ones in Albany doing face painting. So we tried to get our clowns in every community we can. But National Night, it's only one night, there's only 2 clowns, so it was a little bit hard
Yeah,
to
right.
try to get them out all over. But we did.
Well, you made your presence felt and made a lot of young kids happy, so thank you very much for what you do year-round and what you do at town events throughout the year. We appreciate it. And we do have a resolution for you, and Pat's going to read it.
This is resolution number 187 of 2017, a resolution proclaiming the first week of August 2017 as International Clown Week. Whereas the people of the town of Clifton Park recognize the importance of laughter in their lives, and whereas clowns have long been known as ambassadors of joy and goodwill and bring happiness to both children and adults, and whereas it is universally known that laughter is the best medicine, and whereas clowns can make people forget their pain, sadness, illness, and distress, and whereas clowns have helped us preserve our sense of humor and ability to laugh at ourselves, and whereas clowns encourage laughter in people from young to old and rich and poor alike, and whereas clowns can dissolve thoughts of prejudice and intolerance of others, and whereas locally the Electric City Clowns participate in regular community service at hospitals, nursing homes, and assisted living facilities, therefore be resolved that the town board of the town of Clifton Park does hereby proclaim that the week of August 1st through the 7th shall be recognized as International Clown Week within the town of Clifton Park, and shall encourage all citizens to give fitting recognition to the clowns of the world.
I move that we approve the resolution with a second by the board for their approval.
Councilman Whalen?
Yes.
Councilman Sandor? Yes. Councilman Romano?
Yes.
Councilman Long? Yes. Supervisor Farrell?
Yes. So there you go. There's a little bit of support.
Can we have you come down and present it and make a picture statement?
Sure.
Put your nose on.
Should I bring my duct tape, Sean?
Put your nose on. Put your nose
Now, there's certain things that politicians should be very careful about.
If you need protection, I can protect you. I'm part of the SWAT team.
Now, what do you call a clown that's a doctor? Dr. Clown? Or? Because I live with a doctor, but she's not a clown. Well, there you go. There you go. That's what you call it. That's what you call a doctor who's a
I'm
clown.
Dr. Nose and lots of I know. See, this is showing you politics is fun.
Smile. Smile, smile, smile. One more. Okay, I took a million. Yeah, take a couple.
All right. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
And thank you again so much for everything you do. Appreciate it very much, and congratulations to all the May Day clowns. Congratulations on your degree.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming. Appreciate it. And we'll see you at a future town event here pretty soon, right?
How many do you have?
Only one.
You get to pick your nose. Oh my goodness. So much. I know, Mom said
You want to say something? Yeah. You're going to stay. What? All right, you say something.
Oh my God.
Next year we'll have to give you this.
Thank you very much, folks. We appreciate it.
You're so welcome.
Sparky's just handing out notes, they're letting them pick their own notes.
All right.
Take your
That's
notes.
good.
Picking your nose on the job.
Sparky. All right, well, we have other resolutions this evening, Pat. Those are your consideration.
Resolution scheduling a public hearing to consider an application for the conservation
Thank
easement,
you.
conservation easement historic preservation program. Whereas the town's conservation easement program requires public comment on properties proposed to be included in the program. And whereas Priscilla Kelly has requested inclusion in the program for property at 349 Bishop Ferry Road, Clifton Park, SBL is 277.1-1-17. Therefore be resolved that the public hearing is scheduled for August 21st, 2017 at 7:05 p.m. in the Wood Memorial Room, 1 Town Hall Plaza, Clifton Park, to consider the property owned by Priscilla Kelly for inclusion in the Conservation Easement Historic Preservation Program, and be further resolved that the property owner give notice to all adjacent property owners and other entities as provided in the town's conservation easement legislation in advance of the public hearing, and submit receipts of mailing to the town clerk's office prior to the date of the public hearing, and be further resolved that the town clerk is directed to publish appropriate notice of the same. A resolution authorizing the supervisor to sign supplemental number 2 for construction, inspection, and management for the Erie Canal Community Connector Trail project. Whereas by resolution 154 of 2015, the town board authorized a contract for construction, inspection, and management services with Greenman Peterson Engineers for the Erie Canal Community Connector Trail project, linking the towns of Half Moon and Clifton Park along a 4.4-mile route closely following the Erie Canal towpath with the Bishop Ferry Preserve to Planstein Road in the town of Half Moon. And whereas by resolution number 163 of 2016, the town board authorized the construction contract with Gallo Construction Corporation for the project with a construction schedule for completion by December 31st, 2016. And whereas by resolution number 41 of 2017, the town board authorized a change order number 1 to the construction contract with Gallo Construction Corp. Dated December 22nd, 2016, to change the construction completion deadline to May 5th, 2017, and which included no additional cost to the town of Clifton Park. And the town board additionally authorized supplemental number 1 to the Greenman Peterson Engineering Construction Inspection contract. And whereas the project encountered further operational delays and reached final completion in June 2017, resulting in additional engineering costs for construction and inspection as outlined in supplemental number 2 attached. And whereas pursuant to the Gallo Construction contract, additional engineering costs associated with project delays may be reallocated from construction funding previously approved, so that the additional inspection charges detailed in supplemental number 2 result in no additional cost to the town. Now therefore be resolved that the town board authorizes the supervisor to sign supplemental number 2 to the Greenman Peterson Engineers and Construction Services contract in a supplemental letter dated June 24, 2017, with construction inspection services for the Erie Canal Community Connector Towpath project, and be further resolved that funds authorized by supplemental number 2 to the Greenman Peterson contract be deducted from the Gallo construction contract amount. A resolution extending an intermunicipal agreement between the town of Half Moon and the town of Clifton Park for the provision of animal control services. Whereas by authorities of section 119-0 of the General Municipal Law of the State of New York, the parties hereto are enabled to enter into binding agreements for the cooperative performance of various municipal projects, contracts, and functions. And whereas the towns of Clifton Park and Half Moon recognize the benefit to both municipalities that arise from the cooperative provision of services to their residents. And whereas resolution number 15 of 2014 authorized an agreement between the town of Half Moon and the town of Clifton Park. And whereas Clifton Park and Half Moon wish to extend an existing agreement whereby Clifton Park will provide on-call and sick vacation coverage for the Half Moon Animal Control Department. And whereas Clifton Park has the personnel and equipment to provide on-call and sick vacation coverage for the Half Moon Animal Control Department, that it be resolved that the town board approves extending the intermunicipal agreement between the town of Half Moon and the town of Clifton Park for the provision of animal control services per the attached agreement, and be it further resolved that the intermunicipal agreement between the towns of Clifton Park and Half Moon is hereby extended for the period commencing September 1st, 2017 through August 31st, 2018. A resolution appointing John Clines as the alternate member to the Zoning Board of Appeals. Whereas an opening exists for an alternate member to the zoning board of appeals to be designated by the chairman as a voting member of the zoning board when a regular member is unavailable or ill. And whereas Supervisor Barrett recommends John Klein's Longview Drive, Clifton Park, to fill the position, now therefore be it resolved that John Klein is hereby appointed as alternate member to the zoning board of appeals, term to expire December 31st, 2017. A resolution establishing a petty cash fund for the Clifton Park Senior Community Center. Whereas Director of the Senior Center and the Town Supervisor have requested that a petty cash fund be established for the Senior Community Center for small incidental purchases. Now therefore be it resolved that a petty cash fund of $150 is hereby established for the Senior Community Center for small incidental purchases. Resolution establishing a policy and procedure for reviewing the speed limits on town roads. Whereas Section 1662A of New York State Town Law provides the town board with authority to determine speed limits on town roads within certain parameters. And whereas the town board reviews applicable speed limits within the town for new subdivisions after construction and realignment and upon requests regarding particular locations from time to time. And whereas the town's Highway Safety Committee provides advice and analysis to the town on a case-by-case basis upon receipt from the town board. And whereas the town board wishes to establish a policy and procedure for reviewing the speed limits upon town road upon request using objective criteria to help enforce consistency in reviewing speed limit requests. Now therefore be resolved that the town board hereby adopt the attached policy and procedure for the establishment and review of speed limits on town roads with advice and analysis from the Highway Safety Committee and planning staff. A resolution hiring a head lifeguard for the end of the 2017 summer season for Locust Lane Pool. Whereas it is necessary that head lifeguards be hired to assist in the management of Locust Lane Pool. And whereas due to head lifeguards leaving for college at the end of the pool season, Locust Lane has a vacancy for head lifeguard as of August 7, 2017. And whereas the supervisor has recommended that the following individual be hired as a head lifeguard at the Locust Lane Pool, the following rate: Jordan Moore, Palo Alto Court, and the rate is $9.45 per hour. Now therefore be it resolved that Jordan Moore shall be hired as head lifeguard for Locust Lane Pool as of August 7, 2017 through October 1st, 2017 to be paid at the rate as stated. Resolution accepting the attached list of alternate lifeguards to be hired if needed for the 3 town-owned pools. Whereas Supervisor Barrett has recommended that the list of individuals listed as on Schedule A be accepted as alternate lifeguards for the remainder of the 2017 season. Now therefore be resolved that the attached Schedule A be accepted as the list of alternate lifeguards to be hired if needed, and be further resolved that alternate lifeguards shall be paid $9 per hour from the appropriate fund, and those funds are all listed. A resolution awarding the contract for the repairs to the tennis court fence in the Sherwood Forest Park District. Whereas quotes for fence repairs were received on or before July 22nd, 2017, and whereas Sienna Fence Company, Grand Lake, New York, submitted a low quote in the amount of $5,230 in response to the request for quotes documents. And whereas Michael Hanahan, Director of Buildings and Grounds, recommends awarding a contract for fencing and related equipment to Sienna Fence Company, Inc. Now therefore be resolved that the town board acting as commissioners of the Sherwood Forest Park District hereby award the contract for fencing and related improvements at the Sherwood Forest Tennis Court to Sienna Fence Company, Inc. as per documents attached in an amount not to exceed $5,230 to be paid from the Capital Projects Fund. A resolution awarding the contract for the installation of playground equipment in the Sherwood Forest Park District. Whereas quotes for playground equipment were received on or before July 17, 2017. And whereas the Play Pro Denver, North Carolina, submitted the low quote in the amount of $11,962 in response to the request for quotes documents. And whereas Mike Hanahan, Supervisor of Buildings and Grounds, recommends awarding the contract for playground equipment to the Play Pro, now therefore be resolved that the town board acting as commissioners of the Sherwood Forest Park District hereby award the contract for installation of playground equipment and related improvements at the Sherwood Forest Park to the Play Pro as per documents attached in an amount not to exceed $11,962 to be paid from the Capital Projects Fund, and that line is listed. A A resolution authorizing a supplemental agreement with New York State Department of Transportation, adding Marcus-Ellis funding to the design, right-of-way, construction, and inspection phases of the Crescent Road Trail Pedestrian Improvements Project, a joint project with Town Half Moon. Whereas the Crescent Road Trail Bike and Pedestrian Improvements Project construction phase was authorized by the Town Board by Resolution 258 of 2015, and the project has been completed pending final project closeout. Whereas the New York State Department of Transportation notified the Town Department June 2nd, 2017, of a $180,000 in additional Marcus-Ellis funds available for the design, right-of-way, and construction phases of the project, and has prepared a proposed supplemental agreement number 5 required for the subject project that applies to all phases of the project: professional engineering design, right-of-way acquisition, right-of-way incidentals, and construction inspection, construction support. Now therefore be resolved that the Town Board hereby authorizes the Town Supervisor to sign the supplemental agreement number 5 with New York State Department of Transportation, accepting the Marcus-Ellis funding to the project budget per New York State DOT state and local agreement. A resolution authorizing a supplement to agreement number 2 for final construction inspection services for the Crescent Road Bike and Pedestrian Trail Improvement Project, a joint project with Town Half Moon. Whereas by Town Board Resolution number 166 of 2014, the Town Board authorized MJ Engineering and Land Surveying for construction inspection, construction support services for $137,000 in June 2014 for the construction inspection services that were completed in the construction season ending December 2016. And whereas the Crescent Road Bike and Pedestrian Improvement Project construction contract to James H. Malloy was authorized by Town Board Resolution number 258 of 2015, and the project was completed in December 2016, pending final project closeout. And whereas the New York State Department of Transportation notified the Town of Clifton Park on June 2nd, 2015, of $180,000 in additional Marcus-Ellis funds available for the design, right-of-way, construction phase of the project, and has prepared a proposed supplemental agreement number 5 required for the subject project that applies to all phases of the project: professional engineering, design, right-of-way acquisition, right-of-way incidentals, and construction inspection, and construction support. And whereas the project scheduled for the final phase exceeded the timetable initially estimated for construction inspection when the project was estimated by MJ Engineering, and whereas James H. Malloy Inc. was able to complete the construction under budgeted construction costs with extended work days, including strategic night work during the construction season, to get the project done with minimal impacts to the public, resulting in further additions to engineering construction inspection costs. And whereas the Town Board wishes to reallocate unused construction phase funds to engineering costs for the increased construction inspection costs associated with the project. Now therefore be it resolved that the Town Board authorizes the Town Supervisor to sign and execute the supplemental to agreement number 2, construction inspection, for $65,000 with MJ Engineering and Land Surveying to be funded from the remaining Malloy construction phase project budget. Resolution appointing Michael Hartnett as a member of the Open Space Trails and Riverfront Committee. Whereas an opening exists on the Open Space Trails and Riverfront Committee, and whereas the Town Supervisor has recommended that Michael Hartnett to Drive Balsam Lake for the position, whereas Mr. Hartnett's presence on the Open Space Trails and Riverfront Committee will confer benefit to the Town of Clifton Park. Now therefore be resolved that Michael Hartnett is hereby appointed to the Open Space, Riverfront, and Trails Committee to fill the unexpired term of Frank Demetrowitz, term to expire December 31, 2018. Resolution authorizing the Planning Department to submit a grant application to the 2017 Capital District Economic Development Council for consolidated grant funding to construct a multi-use path along Hubbs Road from Main Street to Duck Meadows residential subdivision to reduce vehicle congestion and improve air quality. Whereas the Clifton Park Town Board recognizes that there is a need for connectivity of existing neighborhoods to the historic Main Street in the hamlet of Jonesville. And whereas the residents have requested the town provide a pathway connecting Dutch Meadows residential subdivision to historic Jonesville. And whereas the town has entered into an engineering consultant agreement with MJ Engineering to develop general mapping of the assumed project limits, identify right-of-way acquisitions, and provide an estimated cost breakdown for the multi-use pathway project. And whereas the design services segmented at logical termini portions of the pathway to facilitate staged construction funding. Now therefore be resolved that the town board of the park authorizes the town planning department to submit a grant application to New York State for the current consolidated funding announcement. And be it further resolved that the town supervisor and designated staff are authorized to execute all necessary documentation required to submit a completed grant application to New York State. A resolution authorizing the planning department to submit a grant application to the 2017 Capital District Economic Development Council for consolidated grant funding to consider the Route 146 sidewalk project to reduce vehicle congestion and improve air quality. Whereas the Clifton Park Town Board recognizes that there is a need for connectivity of existing neighborhoods within the town center. And whereas the town's master trails plan includes a sidewalk extension with the northern right-of-way line of New York State Route 146. Sidewalk will connect a residential neighborhood to the business retail center of the northern Route 146 node of the Clifton Park Town Center. Whereas the town has entered into an engineering consultant agreement with MJ Engineering to develop general mapping of the assumed project limits, identify right-of-way acquisitions, and provide an estimated cost breakdown for the Route 146 sidewalk project. And whereas the design services segmented at logical termini portions of the pathway to facilitate staged construction funding. And whereas the residents of Clifton Park have voiced their desire to see an extension of the existing sidewalk system extended west on the north side of New York State Route 146 to link the existing neighborhood's pathway to the town center. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Clifton Park authorizes the town planning department to submit a grant application to New York State for the current consolidated funding announcement, and be further resolved that the town supervisor and designated planning staff are authorized to execute all necessary documentation required to submit a completed grant application to New York State. A resolution authorizing the transfer of up to $30,000 from the Clifton Knolls Park District assigned fund balance for 2017 projects. Whereas the Park District Committee is requesting additional projects be completed in the current year that were not originally planned for the 2017 budget year. And whereas there is currently sufficient reserves in the Clifton Knolls Park District assigned fund balance, and whereas Michael Hanahan, Buildings and Grounds Supervisor, has requested that $30,000 be transferred from the Clifton Knolls Park District assigned funds for the current and anticipated 2017 projects. Now therefore be resolved that authorization is hereby granted to the controller to transfer an amount not to exceed $30,000 from, and those lines are listed, for the additional Clifton Knolls Park District projects planned for 2017. A resolution authorizing the sewer department to waive sewer connection fee hookup charge for commercial expansion on Pierce Road. Whereas section 169-103 of the town code establishes a connection fee of $1,000 per lateral sewer connections to sewer mains within the town. And whereas Mazzone Hospitality has received planning board approval for construction of an additional warehouse structure with attached office space at 743 Pierce Road, location where flex space facilities have already been constructed. Whereas the approved plans did not adequately comply with the applicable sewer use laws, resulting in significant design, engineering, and material costs to the owners. And whereas Michael O'Brien, Collection Systems Manager, has requested authority to waive the sewer hookup charge contained in section 169-103 of the town code as a result of the oversight of sewer law compliance during the approval process. Now therefore be resolved that the town board authorizes the sewer department to waive applicability of the sewer hookup fee contained in section 169-103 of the town code to the Zone Hospitality's warehouse addition at 743 Pierce Road. A resolution authorizing the sewer department to waive the sewer connection fee hookup charge for connection charges related to the Northway Church site plan. Whereas Northway Church has agreed to perform significant improvements to public infrastructure in connection with plans to connect the church project on Ushers Road. And whereas the improvements include an extension of the sewer main along Van Patten Road, as well as the replacement of an obsolete manhole and related infrastructure. all of which benefit Clifton Park Sewer District Number 1 beyond the connection of the church project to sewer district facilities. And whereas Michael O'Brien, Collection Systems Manager, has requested authority to waive the sewer hookup charge established in Section 169-103 of the Town Code in partial exchange for the public improvements. Now, therefore be it resolved that the Town Board authorizes the Sewer Department to waive the applicability of the sewer hookup fee contained in Section 169-103 of the Town Code to the North Star Church project on Ushers Road. Resolution scheduling a public hearing regarding the creation of the Bishop's Landing Park District. Whereas the Town Board of the Town of Clifton Park proposes to undertake the formation of a park district for the Bishop's Landing subdivision to the east of Bishop Ferry Road between Greenleaf Drive and Redfield Park, as described in the map plan report prepared by the town's planning staff, which is on file in the town clerk's office. And whereas the proposed district will include all of the approximately 24.95 acres of lands contained within that certain residential subdivision known as Bishop's Landing subdivision, formerly known as the Oronaka Farm subdivision, as depicted in the subdivision map filed with Saratoga County Clerk's Office on February 26, 2008, and will include all new residential properties listed on Exhibit A attached here too. And whereas the maximum annual cost of the services to be performed by the Park District is $3,000, and whereas the annual cost of the Park District to the typical property within the district is $150, which will be financed through ad valorem assessments upon each of the properties listed above. And whereas the town, whereas the town board now desires to call a public hearing regarding the project as required by town law section 209B, now therefore be resolved that the town board will hold a public hearing to hear all persons interested in the project, which public hearing shall be held at the town Clifton Park Town Hall, One Town Hall Plaza, Clifton Park, on August 21st, 2017, at 7:06 p.m. And be it further resolved and ordered that the town clerk give notice of such hearing by publishing in the official town newspaper notice of public hearing and substantially the form attached to, and by posting the notice of public hearing on the town's official signboard not less than 10 or more than 20 days before such hearing.
Okay, are there any questions on the resolutions? Okay. Seeing none, Pat, well, I just want to go out of order for 1 second. Judy Hughes is here, and we've been talking about this resolution number 20 with the Park District. Judy will not be able to be here for the public hearing, and since she's been working on this and we've been in contact over a series of months, over a year, I guess, at this point, would you like to say something?
I would.
All right, great. You can just kind of hold that a little closer there. Yeah, thank you. How you doing tonight?
I'm very well. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I've already been introduced. I'm Judy Hughes. I live at 6 Pond View Drive in the Bishop's Landing development, the former Oronaka Farm on Bishop Ferry Road. And because I will be away on the 21st, I'm here to speak in favor of formation of a park district for that development. During this last year, residents of Bishop's Landing have received emails from me explaining the formation of park districts in Clifton Park, have had individual opportunities to ask questions on a one-to-one basis, have attended a meeting at Town Hall with Supervisor Phil Barrett, I think that was September of 2016, and have received email updates from several residents who have contacted Phil or John Scavo, and we'd like to thank both these gentlemen for their responsiveness and suggestions. Residents understand the taxing method of funding the park district. Phil supplied a printout of each home's assessment, and the residents were eager, in spite of the assessment, to begin this year. However, the town and the developer, Frank Trelongo, had not yet completed all the necessary paperwork and requirements. Besides the marker area on Bishop Ferry Road, Bishop's Landing has an open area which can be developed into a lovely park, The developer has already supplied benches and tables. Recent work and development of this area by several residents clearly demonstrate the eagerness and commitment to this open space. Rob Flint is here. He's one of the eager workers in the development, as well as Ed Hughes. Distantly related.
Oh, Ed Hughes. Oh, that Ed Hughes.
Not Fred.
Mike Handerhan has visited our development, hi Mike, and has prepared a list of weekly mowing and potential additions to our development for over the next few years. Once the park district is created, a group of residents will continue to work on what will need to be done by the town on a weekly basis and what vision they have for enhancements in the future. I was the chairperson of the Clifton Knolls Mill Creek Park District for over 15 years and have a working relationship with both Mike Handerhan and Margie Caskey of Buildings and Grounds, and you too, Phil, right?
Yeah.
Right, Phil? Right, Phil? Which should be helpful once the town board approves the Vishers Landing Park District. So again, I urge the town board to approve the district so we may technically begin next year. Thank you.
Thank you. It's a very good synopsis of what's occurred so far. Coming out of that meeting that we had, which was very well attended right in this room, the sentiment seemed to be positive. But we'll certainly hold judgment until the public hearing or any thoughts that people have between now and then or after. So, but I appreciate you being here since you can't be here on the 21st. If there's other people that have strong feelings that want to speak on the 21st and they also can't be here, we do have the option to extend the public hearing into September if necessary, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. So thank you. Thank you, Ed, as well. Mr. Flynn. All right, we'll go to resolution number 2, Pat. Start there.
Resolution number 188 of 2017, a resolution scheduling the public hearing to consider an application for the Conservation Easement Historic Preservation Program.
Second.
By Mr. Whalen, second by Mrs. Standard, and we had take care, good to see you. We had the privilege of having the Kellys here several months ago, and also visiting their home. They're in the, for those folks that knew Shopmeyers, they lived over here on Bishop Ferry Road for many, many years. It's their home. And the Kellys had purchased it after Shopmeyers passed. So this is for an application for a conservation easement for historic designation. Okay. Anything you want to add at this point, James? I know we talked a lot about the house when we placed the home on the register of historic places.
Yeah, no, I just want to thank the Historic Preservation Commission again, as always, for their educational efforts in letting people know about the program, and we're very happy that the Kellys are looking to participate.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, Pat.
Councilor Whalen?
Yes.
Councilor Standard?
Yes.
Councilor Milano?
Yes.
Councilor Marwood?
Yes.
President Barrett?
Yes.
Resolution number 189 of 2017, a resolution authorizing the supervisor to sign supplemental number 2 for construction, inspection, and management of the Erie Canal Community Connector Trail Project.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Romano, second by Ms. Wallet. Why don't you hold that microphone over there, John?
Sure.
John's just going to give us a little update here.
Yes, construction for this project completed in June of this year, and as part of the project, we have what's known as a PIN number assigned by New York State DOT. Within that PIN number, this construction, inspection, and construction budget was combined, so we don't need any special approvals from DOT for what we're asking for, because we're still within our budget for total construction costs. We're actually below, and what this is doing is extending the ability to amend the contract with GPI to pay additional construction inspection costs that took place as part of the project. While it amends our contract, it is no additional cost to the town. One, because we're still within the same pin of DOT. And two, due to construction delays by the contractor, we actually withheld a percentage to cover this additional construction inspection cost. So the money is actually paid by the contractor that we've retained from his invoices to pay for the additional CI work to the engineers who did the construction inspection. But we do need, through this resolution, to amend that construction inspection contract for our process to show what the final dollar amounts were paid for construction inspection.
Yeah, very good, John. This housekeeping item, and as John mentioned, there will not be any additional outlay from the town, but we do need to amend the numbers to make sure they reflect the actual numbers that will be ultimately part of the final project. Project is completed and being used by many people. We received rave responses from folks that have had the opportunity to use the trail since it was completed just a few months ago. Any discussion? Okay, Pat?
Councilman Whalen?
Yes.
Councilman Standard?
Yes.
Councilman Romano?
Yes.
Councilman Ballwood?
Yes.
Supervisor Bennett?
Yes.
Resolution number 190 of 2017, a resolution extending an intermunicipal agreement between the town of Half Moon and the town of Clifton Park for the provision of animal control service.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Ms. Wallowitz, second by Mrs. Standard. This is another example of successful intermunicipal agreement and shared services between the towns of Clifton Park and Half Moon. This agreement will continue. The same agreement that's been in place for another year, and so far it's been very successful on both ends. Is that right, Terry? Terry Cook, our animal control officer, is here.
Yeah, extremely. It's worked very well.
Yeah. From everything that I've heard back from Terry and Lou Pasquarello, they did not see any reason to amend the current agreement, so it's basically a carbon copy of what we've had in place for a couple of years now. Worked very well. And I know I've talked to Supervisor Tollison about it on occasion, and they're very pleased with it. So, good job. Any discussion? Okay,
Councilman Whalen?
Yes.
Councilman Standard?
Yes.
Councilman Romano?
Yes.
Councilman Ballwood?
Yes.
Supervisor Bennett?
yes.
Resolution number 191 of 2017, a resolution appointing John Kleins as the alternate member to the zoning board of appeals.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Whalen, second by Mrs. Standard. And we did have an opening for an alternate. And Mr. Klimes has expressed interest in the past of serving the town in a volunteer capacity, and called him up, and he was still interested. That's a good sign. Okay, Pat?
Councilman Whalen?
Yes.
Councilman Standard?
Yes.
Councilman Romano?
Yes.
Councilman Ballwood?
Yes.
Supervisor Bennett?
Yes, and we thank Mr. Klimes for stepping forward to volunteer on behalf of the town. He just recently retired from the military and has a great background and do a fantastic job on the ZBA.
Resolution number 192 of 2017, a resolution establishing a petty cash fund for the Clifton Park Senior Community Center.
So moved.
Moved by Ms. Wallowitz, second by Mr. Whalen. Sue Leonard has now been on the job a couple of weeks. This is one thing that we haven't established at the senior center. Wanted to wait until there was a new director in place, and $150 petty cash for minor expenses that they may have. I do want to mention that when I was over at the center today, about 11 o'clock or so, they had most of the front lobby completed with the new carpet installed. So, they just started this morning about 8 o'clock, and they were moving right along very quickly. So that old grungy carpet that was in there is being replaced with brand new carpeting, and it's going to make a huge difference. So, all good. Okay, Pat?
Councilman Whalen?
Yes.
Councilman Standard?
Yes.
Councilman Romano?
Yes.
Councilman Ballwood?
Yes.
Supervisor Bennett?
Yes.
Resolution number 193 of 2017, a resolution establishing a policy and procedure for reviewing speed limits on county roads.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Romano, second by Mrs. Standard. This is a very good idea that was presented to us through our Highway Safety Committee. This committee's just done a fabulous job over the last several years since we initiated its creation. and we have over 100, at least, over 100 years of experience from individuals and professionals in the area of highway safety, retired engineers, retired DOT employees, retired police officers. So, I mean, it's, the committee's just done a tremendous job reviewing items that we refer to them, or they may be referred from other town employees. John, can you give us a little more reasoning behind why we should adopt this speed limit policy?
Yes, I'll just note, in accordance with New York State Vehicle and Traffic Law 1662A, towns are able to set their own speed limit on local roads, with the exception of being you can't go below 30 miles an hour except in a school zone, which does allow a 10-mile-an-hour decrease below 30 miles an hour if warranted. Based on knowing that the town can set its own speed limit, when we look at new subdivisions, we use engineering logic, where we look at design criteria, site distance, activity as far as what modes of transportation are within the public right-of-way, whether it's cyclists, pedestrians, and vehicles could all be mixed in. And we look at a number of curb cuts, and we also look at vehicle counts. And all that data, is in the engineers' heads. We apply it pretty regularly to new subdivisions, but then we get the questions a few years later, should this road be posted at 45 miles an hour, or should it be lower, or should it be higher? This gives us a basis by which we will evaluate and have placed on paper what that engineering criteria is. And it's based on guidance from the Federal Highway Administration, New York State DOT, on what a rational basis is to come up with a speed policy to determine what a road should be posted at. And over the years, roads are modified, reconfigured, growth projections may change. You may end up with more vehicle trips, so something that may have been posted years ago at one speed limit may not be relevant in today's current conditions.
Right.
So it gives us the ability to also show somebody, here's our methodology for determining what the speed should be.
Yeah, and I think that's something the Highway Safety Committee's been able to do, is really narrow down the reasoning for changes that they may have recommended, or perhaps in some cases recommended there be no change for items that are referred to them. But they're always able to provide a reasoned analysis based on federal, state, local traffic laws, and other standards, federal general standards with regard to highway safety. So I think this document brings all of that together, and something that the town can use for many years going forward. Really, this document is only as good as the people on the Highway Traffic Committee that's working on this, and I know the highway superintendent's been attending all of those meetings, which I think is very important. Something that he's made a point to do since he was appointed to that office. So I think that's great to have even more teamwork and everybody working together, because it does take additional perspectives to make it work and come up with the best possible recommendation. So, very good. Any questions? Pat?
Councilman Whalen? Councilman Standard?
Yes.
Councilman Romano?
Yes.
Councilman Waller? Supervisor Pat?
Yes.
Resolution number 194 of 2017, a resolution hiring a lifeguard for the end of the 2017 summer season for Locust Lane Police.
So moved.
Moved by Mrs. Standard, second by Mr. Wilson. Discussion.
Councilman Whalen?
Yes.
Councilman Standard?
Yes.
Councilman Romano?
Yes.
Councilman Waller? Supervisor Pat?
Yes.
Resolution number 195 of 2017, a resolution accepting the attached list of alternate lifeguards to be hired if needed for the 3 town-owned pools.
Second.
Moved by Ms. Walworth, second by Mr. Romano. This is the last list of qualified alternatives. We did have a previous list of alternatives. Between the two lists, not all of the individuals will be hired this year, but many more do get an opportunity each year as we get into August and kids are going back to school. It's an opportunity for some of the younger kids that are qualified to finish out the summer and get some experience, so perhaps they're ready for next year when more openings occur. Every year we have openings in the spring, it's just a matter of how many. I do want to mention that the first person on this list, with the last name Barrett, no relation, so I just wanted to make that point. But very good, so we're in good shape heading into the end of the summer. Okay.
Councilman Whalen?
Yes.
Councilman Standard?
Yes.
Councilman Romano?
Yes.
Councilman Waller? Yes. Vice Mayor?
Yes, that's so sad. The end of the summer. We're heading into the end of the
4
summer.
weeks.
Oh, wow.
It's not the end.
Oh.
196 of 2017, a resolution awarding a contract for the repairs to the tennis court fence in the Sherwood Forest Park District.
So moved.
Thanks.
Moved by Mrs. Standard, second by Mr. Whalen. I do want to say that the new courts there look very nice. That would be a nice addition. Okay.
Councilman Whalen?
Yes.
Councilman Standard?
Yes.
Councilman Romano?
Yes.
Councilman Waller?
Yes.
Yes.
Resolution number 197 of 2017. Resolution awarding the contract for the installation of playground equipment in the Sherwood Forest Park District.
So moved. Moved by Mr. Whalen, second by Ms. Waller. Discussion.
Councilman Whalen?
Yes.
Councilman Standard?
Yes.
Councilman Romano?
Yes.
Councilman Waller? Yes. Vice Mayor?
Yes.
Resolution number 198 of 2017, a resolution authorizing a supplemental agreement with New York State Department of Transportation, adding Marcus Elliott funding to the design, right-of-way, construction, inspection phases of the Crescent Road Trail Pedestrian Improvement Project, a joint project with the town of Half Moon.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Whalen, second by Mr. Romano. This is the other large trail project we did in conjunction with the town of Half Moon. John, if you could update us on this one as we close this one out as well.
Yes, construction has been completed. We were notified June 2nd of 2017 that the state, through the State Marchielli Fund, was pledging another $180,000 in grant funding to cover additional costs with the project, and part of the next resolution will tie into this additional money that the state's giving to us. Part of the reason was we did night construction, which adds additional cost. However, it ensured that Interstate 87 continued to flow along with the exit, so there was no backups on the interstate system during peak hours or during the daytime for the most critical parts of the bridge work that took place. Also, additional money was placed from New York State because it was brought up to the current standards for design requirements versus when the grant was originally awarded. I believe it was 2006 with this program. In addition to that, we also, during construction, had a strike by Verizon, a utility company that actually delayed an aspect of the construction that would have went on simultaneously with other aspects of construction, but it could not occur during that strike. So again, we incurred additional costs. New York State recognized that there's nothing we can do. We can't anticipate a strike in our budget by a utility company. So they did, being great project partners, what they could to help us out and put this additional money towards the project. Other than the strike, seemed to go smoothly.
Yeah, we had a few things come up during that trail project that I don't remember encountering before, so it always kept us on our toes, that's for sure, that project. Any discussion? Okay.
Councilman Whalen?
Yes.
Councilman Standard?
Yes.
Councilman Romano?
Yes.
Councilman Waller? Yes. Vice Mayor?
Yes.
Resolution number 199 of 2017, a resolution authorizing a supplement to agreement number 2 for final construction inspection services for the Crescent Road Bike and Pedestrian Trail Improvement Project, a joint project with the town of Half Moon.
So moved. Moved by Mr. Romano, second by Ms. Waller. Discussion? Okay.
Councilman Whalen?
Yes.
Councilman Standard?
Yes.
Councilman Romano?
Yes.
Councilman Waller?
Yes.
Mr. Vice Mayor.
Yes.
Resolution number 200 of 2017, a resolution appointing Michael Hartnett as a member of the Open Space Trails and Riverfront Committee.
Moved by Mr. Romano, second by Mr. Whalen, and Mike Hartnett is right back there. Hi, Mike, how are you? Appreciate you stepping forward and wanting to volunteer on behalf of the town, and welcome aboard.
Thanks.
Thank you. Pat?
Councilman Whalen?
Yes.
Councilman Stewart?
Yes.
Councilman Romano?
Yes.
Councilman Walworth?
Yes.
Vice Mayor.
Yes.
Resolution number 201 of 2017, a resolution authorizing the planning department to submit a grant application to the 2017 Capital District Economic Development Council for consolidated grant funding to construct a multi-use path along Hubs Road from Main Street to the Dutch Meadows residential subdivision to reduce vehicle congestion and improve air quality.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mrs. Standard, second by Mr. Whalen. We have two proposed projects where we've completed the engineering. As you heard from the previous resolutions in the packet tonight, Crescent Road and then the towpath trail, those are two very large projects, multi-million-dollar projects that we completed. We also learned this year that we received a grant for the Moe Road trail, which will extend from where the Crescent Road Trail ends at Octay, down Crescent Road, and then up northward to north up Moe Road. And we said at that time we will be looking at a couple of more opportunities, and here they are. We have the first one, which is will run along Hubs Road. It'll connect Dutch Meadows down to the intersection of McElroy and Main Street. Total proposed cost, engineering estimate is $830,000. And then the second one is Crestwood east, running east, the sidewalk running east to Tallowood. The proposed engineering estimate for that project is $440,000. That's the next resolution. So we'll be submitting those grant applications, and hopefully at least one of them will be funded. Any discussion on this resolution? Okay, Pat?
Councilman Whalen?
Yes.
Councilman Standard?
Yes.
Councilman Romano?
Yes.
Councilman Walworth?
Yes.
Vice Mayor.
Yes.
Resolution number 202 of 2017, a resolution authorizing the planning department to submit a grant application to the 2017 Capital District Economic Development Council for consolidated grant funding to construct a Route 146 sidewalk project to reduce vehicle congestion and improve air quality.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Romano, second by Mr. Whalen.
Councilman Whalen?
Yes.
Councilman Standard?
Yes.
Councilman Romano?
Yes.
Councilman Walworth? Vice Mayor.
Yes.
Resolution number 203 of 2017, a resolution authorizing the transfer of up to $30,000 from the Clifton Knolls Park District assigned fund balance for 2017 projects.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Standard, second by Mr. Whalen. General, how are you?
Good, sir. How are you tonight?
Good. So,
Um,
Marlis and
stuff
Company,
going on.
they know you're doing this, right?
What?
Marlis and Company.
I'll call it tomorrow. No, Mark just asked us to do this because they got a lot of things going on this year.
Yeah.
And they're doing the pond.
Yeah.
Trying to clean up the ponds.
No, move that a little closer, but,
Something might be.
It's a little, they're trying to clean up the pond. That's a pretty good sum.
yeah.
So they just need that, so they got the money to cover everything.
Yep.
Got some additional tree work that we're going to be doing as well, and so. that's-
Yeah, we were, she asked me to go over and take a look at them, and I did. There's a row of 9 trees, as you go down Clifton Park Center Road, right along the road in front of, well, if you're on the road, it would be in front of or between you and the softball field that's out here. And at least 5 of them are showing signs of wear and tear, and I guess there was a bug of some sort that
Yeah, well,
looked like it was
it's
borrowing
a
into
combination
the
of a bunch of things.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, they're not-
insects and-
wide trees. I mean, these are not what you would envision as mature trees that you see in some of the neighborhoods, but you know, probably 5 inches around maybe. and at least 5, maybe more, are probably going to have to be removed because they do have some dead branches, and just looking at the trunks, and probably going to go away completely here in I don't know, near future.
Yeah, sometime
Tough to say.
either probably toward the end of the year or
Yeah,
early.
they're not looking good. So
No.
I think they're gonna have to remove those, which we hate to do, but if they're dying, they're only gonna be a hazard. Okay, Pat?
Councilman Whalen?
Yes.
Councilman Standard?
Yes.
Councilman Romano?
Yes.
Councilman Marlowitz?
Yes.
Vice Mayor.
Yes.
Resolution number 204 of 2017, a resolution authorizing the sewer department to waive the sewer connection fee hookup charge for commercial expansion on Pierce Road.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Ms. Swalowitz, second by Mr. Romano. Mike O'Brien could not be here tonight for these two resolutions. This first one, and the hookup fee is $1,000, just so you know. Give you some context. His memo related to this resolution, he mentioned the project received final approval prior to his review. He took full responsibility for it as his mistake. But with that being said, the project ultimately was not in compliance with the sewer use law, and an addendum was required to be designed at, boy, easy for me to say. Addendum was required to be designed at the cost of the property owner to bring it into compliance. So basically what happened is, due to the error, it put an extra cost and burden on the applicant. So Mike has asked us to waive the $1,000 hookup fee. Okay? And I asked him to send you these memos far in advance of the meeting, so that way if you had any questions, you could contact him. So hopefully you did. Any comment? Pat?
Councilman Whalen?
Yes.
Councilman Standard?
Yes.
Councilman Romano?
Yes.
Councilman Marlowitz? Yes. Vice Mayor.
Yes.
Resolution number 205 of 2017, a resolution authorizing the sewer department to waive the sewer connection fee hookup charge for connection charges related to the Northway Church site plan.
Moved by Mr. Whalen, second by Mrs. Standard. Again, from his memo, as part of the pre-construction inspections, an existing manhole owned by Clifton Park Sewer District Number 1 was deemed to have some shortfalls, including a bad bench configuration, creating a situation for solids to build up. As designed was hammered out, we negotiated the replacement of the poor-performing manhole with a larger and improved flow pattern at the cost of the developer. This fee, the $1,000 hookup fee, pales in comparison to the cost of the improvement the sewer district will be receiving. So what he's saying is the improvement that the developer has agreed to take on will derive a benefit to the entire system and be at a value well over the $1,000 fee he's asking us to waive in this instance. Any questions, discussion? Okay, Pat.
Councilman Whalen?
Yes.
Councilman Standard?
Yes.
Councilman Romano?
Yes.
Councilman Marlowitz? Yes. Vice Mayor.
Yes.
Resolution number 206 of 2017, a resolution scheduling a public hearing regarding creation of the district community park district.
So moved.
Moved by Mrs. Standard, second by Mr. Whalen. This is what Judy Hughes was discussing earlier. John, I want to thank John for putting together basically a light, if you want to call it that, map plan and report for the proposed district with some specifics, including all of the assessments of the property. So good job on that, John. And we'll have the public hearing on the 21st. Okay.
Councilman Whalen?
Yes.
Councilman Standard?
Yes.
Councilman Romano?
Yes.
Councilman Marlowitz? Yes. Vice Mayor.
Yes. Any other business to come before the board this evening? Okay, seeing none, we'll go to public privilege. If you'd like to speak on the town matter, please raise your hand and let us come forward. State your name and address for the record. Please give it 5 minutes or less. Come on up, sir.
Okay.
How you doing today?
Right.
Yes, please.
Okay. I'm Don Woodpeck. I live at 38 Summerlin Drive in the Summerhill development.
38, okay.
Last night I was using the bike path
Yeah,
where it runs from Summer Hill to the Meadow Estates.
right.
And that portion of the bike path's been had cracks and damage to it. And
Okay.
they've come through and they put blacktop in those cracks, but still, to me, it's just as bad with the blacktop.
Were those the repairs we made last year?
I don't know if they were last year or,
I know we made some repairs last year.
it's
also.
new looking, you
Nelson and
know.
the paving crew from
But
Highland.
Oh, okay.
I think the whole bike path, that portion needs to be all repaved.
So this is where Summerlin hits Meadow Estates.
Right,
Further right,
through the Meadow
through
Estates.
Meadow Estates.
Right, because that part of the
Meadow
bike
Estates
path,
to here.
Summer Hill is like, I think about 15 years old now.
Yeah.
But Meadow Estates is much older.
Yeah, it is. It
Yeah.
is a little. Yeah.
It's really, there were I know before they fixed it, there were tree roots growing through it.
Right.
And the other problem has been for several years, they don't cut back the sides of the path.
Mm-hmm.
It's very bad on the corners. You can't see who's coming the other way. And there's brush hanging down from
Oh, okay.
the overhead.
Yeah, we can
And
take care
there's
of that.
brush into the path. It's really,
Well, I must say we've struggled to keep up with a lot of that this year, just because of the constant. I mean, we're catching up now because it's been nice and dry for
Yeah,
about a
but
week and a
it's-
half. But it's
even in prior years, it's been the same. I don't know, I called about it and they said they didn't say whether it was the town's responsibility or
oh yeah.
the development's
No,
responsibility.
that's ours. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
is
All
that-
right, we'll take another look at the trail. We were just talking about some trail improvements the other
Yeah.
day, and we're getting some. Mike's getting bids now to seal coat different trails that we haven't seal coated yet. So that was part of the money, because each year we put money in the budget for
Yeah.
trail maintenance. So we're deciding what to do with the rest of the trail maintenance money, and so certainly it sounds like we can spend more in that area, Mike. But we'll get on that. But thank you.
the other thing I point out, bring up is the fact that they're rebuilding Sibley Road and they're not putting a sidewalk in there. There's so many people walking. I used to travel that road twice a day and I'd see people walking, a lot of people walking on that road.
Well, we are doing we are going to receive funding for a large improvement at Sibley and Wooden.
Oh,
And there will be a sidewalk added down, well, if you know where that intersection is, into Half Moon
yeah,
by Twin Lakes, and then up to NYOH, the Cancer Center.
oh,
So there will be some additional pedestrian access that way.
oh, okay.
Is that what you were referring to?
Yeah, because there's a lot of people walking over to Walmart and different places.
That part of the city, you say no, can't move.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, well, I don't, they walk from,
Yeah.
they walk to Walmart from there?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, there's no, yeah, because there's no sidewalk on 146. I mean, I'm sorry, Route 9 over in that area.
Yeah, but you have a wide shoulder.
Yeah, yeah,
Another road that's real bad in the town is Clifton Park Center Road.
yeah.
Some of the shoulder is like that wide, you know, and people trying to
Well,
bicycle.
the road itself's in great condition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For people walking or biking on that road, it's terrible.
Well, there's other alternatives. We actually, when I first got here, we were looking at a multi-use path on Clifton Park Center Road.
Yeah,
And we really couldn't do it because of the lacking the right of way.
yeah, right.
If we were to build a path and everything that encompasses that,
Yeah,
with
right.
drainage and following
Yeah,
all
right.
the guidelines and standards, federal and state, would have been resulted in not only all those trees coming down
Right.
along that road, but taking the people's property. So we didn't go through with it.
I just want to
The right of way is just very tight considering how close
Yeah, right.
the road is to the front of a lot of those houses. It's a tough one.
I just want to point out, it's a very dangerous condition.
Well, there's some roads that, yeah, I mean, there's some roads that are more conducive to bicycling and walking and running. Certainly you have the Shen campus, you've got Clifton Knolls. You have many other ways to get to the Moe Road Trail,
Right.
which provides a direct access into exit 9 through the sidewalk on 146, south on Moe Road. So there's other ways to get to the Moe Road Trail.
That's another thing I suggested in the past, and I thought it was a good idea, but I never saw any done, was putting up some signs directing people to these bike trails that you do have in town.
Mm-hmm.
I think sometimes people don't even know they exist.
Oh, well, we do have maps,
Yeah.
online
Yeah.
and such.
Yeah.
Signs are great, but when there's too many, they lose their effectiveness.
Right.
So we try to cut down on the sign pollution as much as possible.
Okay.
But I appreciate that. Thank you for letting us know about the
Yes.
Path and Meadow Estates.
Okay, thank you.
Could you,
We'll get right on
could
that.
you spell your last name for me, please?
WHIT.
Oh,
Put back.
okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else? Okay.
Motion to adjourn.
Well, that might answer a question where we can spend a few of those bucks. And I told Mike, I said, one of these nights I'm going to walk down there. I'm going to walk that path to see if it does need any work, and I haven't done that yet. So I told him I was going to do it a week and a half ago. Okay.
Councilman Whalen?
Yes.
Councilman Standard?
Yes.
Councilman Ramos?
Yes.
Councilman Wallwood? Yes. Supervisor Barrett?
Yes, thank you.